Yo, what's up? This is Ordaned1 on the second episode of the Movies and Games Q and A show. And today I'll be answering questions from the following: Nicholas Vine 123 and Death in a Cubicle. Alright, Nicholas Vine 123 asks me, what game genre do you like most? Well, Nicholas Vine 23, the genre I like most would probably have to be the survival horror games. Because out of all the genre games, the survival horror game seems to have more violence and more action and more like just crazy graphics, and they keep you intense. And if you're a gamer like me, you really like violence. Violence is just awesome. I love playing games like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry. Like I said in the last Q&A, these are games I like playing. They're just like completely awesome, and they're loads of fun. I also like RPGs too. I enjoy playing the Final Fantasy games, but I've kind of like slid off of Final Fantasy for a while because it seems like Final Fantasy is starting to fall off on its storyline. Storyline's just starting to suck now. And I liked it before it became so commercial, when it was more of a cult game, because not only did it deliver you good graphics, it also delivered you a good story you can play off. Alright, so that's my answer to that question. He asked me another question is, do you think that raising game prices from $50 to $60 is fair for game players? Well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say yes, because we're gamers. I do understand that the game systems, they want a lot of money to come in for these new games, but at the same time they have to make it a little bit more affordable. See, when you make something affordable, when you make something that is like hot, that just came out, and you make it affordable, you're gonna get a lot more sales. That's the reason why PS3 sales didn't do so well last year, because the prices were so high, and not too many people were able to just pull like $600 just like out of their pocket. Some people have to work for that money. So I think that's one of the reasons why PS3 didn't do so well, and that's also why I think it's not fair that they're raising prices on these games. That's just not, I don't think that's fair at all. And Nicholas Vine 123, his last question was, are games better now than they were 10 to 15 years ago? You guys are going to be surprised when I say this, but I believe that games were a lot better then than they are now. Yes, in the present day, the graphics and the animation has become spectacular, and I believe they haven't even reached the peak of what is yet to come in graphics. But sometimes I feel like good graphics is the only thing games have to offer these days. Like the story, like back then, the game was enjoyable to play, but at the same time they had a great storyboard that you can play on, and it was just, and I think that's what made video games so popular. Is not necessarily the gameplay, but it's the story you get out of it. And so that's why the sales in video games aren't as high as they were before. That's why systems like the PS3 and all these games are just like not up to sale, because I have to admit, graphics is just badass. But if you have a story that just doesn't make sense, and like the gameplay just sucks, then what's the purpose of buying it? That's my opinion on that question. Alright, my next question is from Death in a Cubicle. And he asked me, do I know any other characters that are going to be in the Super Smash Brothers Brawl? Well, other than the returnees, the new characters that I do know of is Solid Snake, Invisible Girl, picked from Kid Lacrosse and Wario. And if there are any more characters, they're probably going to mention it later on, but as of right now, that's all the new characters that I know of. Alright, this has been Ordaned1's Q and A show, episode 2. I'm sorry all those whose questions I didn't get to. I will get to your questions on episode 3, which airs Friday. This is Ordaned1 signing out.